Welcome to Hot Topics on the Edge of NFT. I'm Richard Carthon, and I'm here with Josh Kriger, driving the latest and most exciting developments in the world of Web3, blockchain, and digital assets.
It's another production of Edge of Company, a rapidly growing media ecosystem empowering the pioneers of Web3 tech and culture.
Today, we'll cover breaking news on Token 2049 Singapore, the sentencing of Ryan Salame due to the FTX collapse, the Amplify Web3 and AI event that is happening in the Philippines, the dog crossing 81,000 holders, and finally, an Ethereum miner incident that highlights the challenges of crypto mining.
Let's dive in. Our first topic is Token 2049 Singapore, one of the anticipated gatherings in Web3 and blockchain space each year. And it's set to be one of the largest ever taking place in September 18th, 19th, 2024 at Marina Bay Sands, a beautiful venue in Singapore, and not too far from where the Formula One will be taking place that weekend. The event's going to feature over 20,000 attendees from 150 countries, and they anticipate over 500 side events throughout the week. Notable speakers include Binance CEO Riichard, Solana founder Anatoly, as well as Edward Snowden this year. So that will be interesting. And the conference is definitely going for more of a festival-like experience this time around, with interactive VR zones, AI art exhibits, and even some sporting contests to mix things up a little bit. So I know we're starting to plan for our trip to Asia, heading over to Korea, and then Dubai and Riyadh, and then you'll be in the Philippines. And then, of course, we have, really this event, which is the capstone, I think, of the quarter, in terms of, really providing a pulse check on where we are as a community, what's going on in the industry. Everyone's going to be there, including us. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it too. After going last year, and I don't say this lightly, obviously outside of our own events that we do over at Edge of Company, I thought last year's Token 2049 was probably the best Web3 event that I attended. It sounds like this year is going to be even more epic. I don't know how they're going to be able to pull that off, but it sounds like they're trying to do so. But it's also a really cool melting pot of all of these companies from all over the world coming together to showcase. And you have basically every single segment of what makes Web3 special that comes and attends and shows off what they're building. So it's going to be cool to hear some thought leadership, to go visit all the booths that they have, which is epic because there's so many on multiple floors all across. And I know that I really enjoyed working all those floors, but the side events too, man. Oh my gosh, there's so many epic side events. And like Josh said, we're putting together our game plan for the event. But if you're listening to this and you are going to be attending this, please come say hi. You won't miss us. We'll have on our Edge of NFT hats. We'll be around making content. We would love if you could just come up and say hey, and hopefully we can find a way to work with you in the future.
Yeah, it's always sort of interesting in terms of how you game plan. Obviously, everyone going should sort of have a game plan, but also leave some room for serendipity in there, and not sort of over plan, because getting from point to point is not that easy. And spend a lot of time at the core event. There's going to be a lot of great people there, a lot of great talks. I'm really interested in seeing how sort of market sentiment has changed in Asia since our last trip over to that region, and sort of how some of these key areas of crypto are evolving, such as DeFi, NFTs, real world assets, decentralized social. These are all themes that come up over and over again, but 3 months is a light year in our industry. So there's going to be a lot to catch up on in terms of what folks are thinking and how the space is evolving. So that's exciting. What else is on the docket today, Richard?
Yeah, so next we're going to be covering the sentencing of Ryan Salame due to the FTX collapse. So, of course, there is the massive aftermath of everything that happened with FTX. And the former FTX executive, Ryan, was sentenced to 7.5 years in prison for his role in the collapse. The sentencing follows the sentencing of FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried. Ryan's role is as being part of the scandal, as being significant because he contributed to the downfall of the exchange, and his sentencing reflects the ongoing legal consequences that is faced by the collapse. So everyone that is directly involved on executive level I don't think this is going to be the last person that's going to be facing prison time. I'm very confident there's probably going to be more along the way. But I mean, 7.5 years, considering what happened, I don't want to say he got off lightly, but it could have been way more severe.
Yeah, these sort of white collar crime prosecutions in the U.S. are always interesting to see. How the pendulum falls and how much weight is given to direct versus sort of associate related matters. I think ultimately it's always a positive when the good guys get acknowledged and the bad guys get punished for their deeds. And I think, fortunately, in this case, there's progress towards cleaning things up that I think is positive for our industry, for investors, for customers, for people that are impacted by this on a massive scale. And I think it's another reminder that as an emerging tech industry, it's that much more important for us to um, ask the tough questions to everyone and not sort of take anything that we hear as gospel. And that's really the message from FTX that I think the world heard loud and clear overall.
Absolutely. And I think just one final thought is on it's almost been 2 years since the collapse of FTX, and he's just now getting his sentencing. So the U.S. Department of Justice can take quite a while before rendering out its verdicts, but they want to be thorough and they want to make sure that they get all the different information. So that's why I think this is probably going to be continuing being a stream of other people that are eventually going to be brought to justice. So, Josh, what else are we covering today?
Next, let's focus on the Amplify event in the Philippines, which is on September 14th, and it's powered by Web3 AI, and it's going to be a major gathering making waves in the Southeast Asia crypto community. We're very excited to be a media partner of both Edge of NFT and our other sister show, Edge of AI. And what this event is all about is it's a roundtable summit for executives, entrepreneurs, evangelists, and educators, really focused on innovation, collaboration in the Web3 and AI space by connecting experts together to not only sort of network, but have deeper intellectual conversations. So what's unique about this event that made us decide to jump aboard is this sort of intellectual component of different topical roundtable sessions on all the different intersection points of these two topics and how they're affecting broader society and technology. And the other, of course, interesting thing about it is the team has put together a number of influential KOLs in that region that are going to be joining with their sort of networks. And so we don't often have these types of events where we can actually connect face to face with sort of leading influencers in that region. And we all know how important the Philippines is to the broader Web3 space. Riichard, any thoughts here?
Yeah, there's a lot of adoption happening in the Philippines and just in that area in general. And the thing that has me excited for several reasons. One, just it's we're looking for things to do between both Korea Blockchain Week and Token 2049 because there's that gap in between, and this helps to fill that gap. And secondarily, I don't know that there's been an event that has been hyper focused on the intersection of Web3 and AI, which I'm super pumped about. And then obviously, because we have our Edge of NFT show, we also have our Edge of AI. We're like the partnership made a ton of sense. And then finally, just Manila, Philippines. I've never been. I'm pumped to go check it out. I've heard nothing but incredible things. And what better way than to go and learn from all these thought leaders, network with all these incredible people and companies, and then be able to explore the city as well. It just, I'm very excited to go and participate in it.
Yeah, absolutely. I am as well. So we will drop the link for folks to register in our show notes for the show, and we'll share it on social. There's a special link you have to click on in order to get invited. It is a sort of selective event, very highly curated. And, if you want to learn more information about the event and see the latest updates on the agenda and speakers, you can go to amplifyweb3.ai. And again, we will share our link. So check socials and check show notes for that information so that you can also join this incredible opportunity.
All right, up next, we're going to talk about Dog and how it's crossed 81,000 holders. So, often referred to as Dog. And I want to specify, we're talking about the Dog Runes coin. A lot of people got airdropped this. If you had X amount of ordinals in your wallet, this magically appeared into your wallet, and people have been trading it since. And it has recently crossed 81,000 on chain holders as of August 13th of this year. So this milestone highlights the growing interest and adoption of Bitcoin meme coins within the crypto community. Also think that this increase in holders suggests a rising popularity. As more people are looking for the next meme coin movement, people are looking more and more at runes, and people have looked at what happened with Dogecoin, what happened in the Solana meme coin ecosystem, and people are paying a lot of attention over in the ordinals in the Bitcoin ecosystem, looking at runes, ordinals, and Bitcoin layer twos. So, Josh, what do you think this means to have this much adoption as quickly as it has, and to see so much participation in these memes?
Yeah, well, just to put it in perspective, smaller cap memes can have, two, three, four, 5,000 holders is pretty typical. So we're talking about over 10x that volume of holders. And this is at a sort of a time in the cycle where things are a little sideways, that this is increasing. So I think it's really interesting that the meme narrative is only getting stronger, and I think Leonidas is an excellent shiller on Twitter. If you every day he's talking about Dog, and people are sort of continuing to get aware of it. So not every meme coin gets to this level of holder, and certainly it's a stronger indication about overall sentiment on meme coins and on ordinals. So I think we'll just have to see what happens next as the cycle continues to warm up, and how sort of projects like this take shape. We've seen meme coins go up really fast and go down really fast, regardless of size. So definitely not financial size, just something we've seen meme coins like this go up really fast and go down really fast. So definitely not financial advice, but something to take a look at as a broader signal on sentiments in the market.
Yeah, I mean, just to speak to that, I am not a big meme guy, but I have been paying more and more attention to it because eventually you can't not pay attention to it. And when I'm looking at the ecosystem that has the most opportunity, I think the Bitcoin ecosystem and the memes that are being brought over there have a lot of legs. And like you said, the market has kind of been going sideways for the last several months, yet this is growing exponentially. So I'm going to keep watching this. Again, not financial advice, but the meme culture of Bitcoin, I think, has yet to have its real moment yet. And I think it's potentially on its way.
Absolutely. So finally, Ethereum miner accidentally burned over $80,000 worth of ETH. That's really sad. So it's a curious story in the world of mining. Arcam, a company that translates a raw blockchain transition into clear network maps, found a transaction where a miner accidentally burned over 80,000 worth of ETH, and that's 34 ETH, but only managed to cash out $2,000. So mining could be a really interesting way of participating in the industry, but it's also not without risk. And there's been folks that have intentionally burned NFTs, even Bored Apes, and other tokens. But when someone unintentionally burns all that sort of work, I guess, mining,
Yeah.
it's just kind of it's a gut punch, and it's a gut punch for all of us, and a healthy reminder to sort of double check your work.
Yeah, the reason we want to include this in, besides the fact that it sucks. I mean, imagine mining for 7 years and then like basically all your profit, you burn it. That's just a gut punch. But it's another reminder before you press send, just double check everything. Make sure that your gas is where it needs to be, and what you're supposed to be receiving is what it's supposed to be. Just taking those extra 10 to 30 seconds to review everything before you press, send or execute or whatever it is, it's worth it and can make a huge difference. Um, things will become smoother in the space with being able to execute these different transactions. But as we talk about mass adoption and what does it mean for anyone to be able to come and use this, for mistakes like this to continue to happen, we're not quite there yet. I do think there's a clearer path to us getting to easier onboarding and execution of transactions. But until we get there, just a friendly reminder to take your time before you finish a transaction.
Absolutely. So that's a wrap on today's hot topics. We've covered Token 2049 Singapore, the sentencing of Ryan Salame due to the FTX collapse, the Amplify Philippines crypto event September 14th, and dog crossing 81,000 holders, as well as Ethereum miner burn incident gone bad. So feel free to share your thoughts on these developments in the industry on comments or social. Of course, your voice shapes this space, and we love to dialogue with our audience. So that's a wrap for today.
Yeah, so make sure you stay curious, stay secure, and keep pushing Web3 boundaries. This is Riichard and Josh signing off from the Edge of NFT. Catch you on the flip side of the blockchain.